Welcome back to Rob's Feed Today. You are watching episode number 105, and I'm Rob Schendel. From time to time, I will devote an entire episode to something that I think is important. And as I mentioned in episode number 104, this episode, 105, would be one of those episodes. You can't help but know, if you've tuned into any news broadcast or picked up any news source, of what's going on in Wisconsin these days. Back in November, low voter turnout had some devastating effects, one of which was the election of Scott Walker as governor, and that's what everyone's protesting now, his policies. The other was losing the finest senator in the United States Senate, namely Russ Feingold. Well, Russ is back, although not in the Senate, but he's got a cause, and that cause I want you to know about, and I want you to support.
Hi, I'm Russ Feingold. For 3 terms, I had the honor of representing the great state of Wisconsin in the United States Senate. I worked to follow in the footsteps of our country's progressive leaders when I voted against the Patriot Act, when I opposed corrupt trade agreements like NAFTA, and when I reached across party lines to reform our system of campaign financing. But our fight is not over. 1 year ago, the Supreme Court handed down one of the most lawless decisions in the history of our country, Citizens United. In one fell swoop, the court not only overturned 100 years of settled law, but it also set a dangerous new precedent for our democracy by allowing corporations to have unlimited influence over our elections. That's why I need your help. As progressives, it's time we made our voices heard. Washington, sadly, has become a playground for corporations and their lobbyists. For too long, we've watched as our jobs have been shipped overseas. And we've seen our leaders in Washington coddle the Wall Street banks and then turn around and water down the very financial reforms that our country desperately needs. It's time we stood up to the total dominance of corporate power that's invaded our democracy and hijacked our elections. Together, we'll start a movement. We're starting a new organization, Progressives United, that will help us fight back. We'll work to ensure that our elected officials, both Republican and Democratic, are held accountable to the people and not to the lobbyists in Washington. We'll call out the media when they hide from the real story, and we'll support candidates when they uphold our progressive ideals, even if the Beltway establishment doesn't. This moment is critical. Let's unite progressives across our country to fight back. Please join me.
Now again, I'd like to say that back last November, it wasn't policy that got the Republicans their victories everywhere. It wasn't that at all. It was an unmotivated electorate. People just weren't motivated enough to get out and go vote. Let's not let that happen again. Please, please, please go. The address again is progressivesunited.org. And having said that, that's all I'm going to say.